Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going live any minute now with attorney Vital DiCarpio, and here we are for all of you. This is Success for You, and it can be for your kids, or if you want to listen to it, not a problem. This is the second video that we have. We're going live in YouTube, Facebook, and to TikTok, to everyone over there watching me. And I think the definition of success, as we talked the last time, it depends what is it that you want to do, okay? It doesn't mean what the Joneses want to do or what your neighbor or your uncle or your grandpa is going to be. Bottom line, what is it that you want to do? Now, we discussed that one book that we highly recommend is this one. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. It might be upside down, I'm not sure. But anyway, here it is. It's red and white, and you can get it at your local bookstore. The older version is a smaller one, and I don't know if it's in print anymore, but that is certainly considered the Bible of being successful. In this program, we're not going to talk about law. I am a lawyer, but we're not going to talk about it because we're just going to share the successes of many thousands of people who've had this type of success by reading this book and following it, okay? I'm not selling you anything, book or anything like that. It's just sharing information that maybe your children can learn, and that's why we are putting this in English as well as any adults. As I've indicated in the past, I did not know this before I was 18. I think it was like 21 or 22 when I read about it and then began. And of course, I recommend it for everybody. Okay, last time we talked about daydreaming and practice of daydreaming, and we will again in this subject. Now, what I wanted to tell you, or I did mention before, that in order to get a job done, you need to know how the tools work to get it done. I gave an example of a construction worker. You need to learn how to use the tools, how to use this, even though it may seem like it's common sense, but it wasn't for me when I used the hammer, trying to hammer the pole into the battery. I broke the whole battery because I used the metal hammer when I should have used a rubber hammer. And this is what I mean, learning to know the tools that you have to work with. Now, the tools that we're going to concentrate are right here, okay? And let me just tell you how this works. The brain controls everything in the human body, and you tell the brain what is it that you want, and the brain tells the nervous system. The nervous system sends the messages to the body, and your body reacts to whatever that message is. Next time, I'm going to have a nice diagram for you to be able to visualize it, okay? So the main thing here is that the nervous system cannot tell if you're telling the truth or you're not telling the truth. It just gets the message and tells the body, do this, whether it's true or not. And that is where the positive thinking comes in, okay? So you have to always be a positive thinker. What does that mean? That means that your vocabulary should always use positive thinking words, okay? There are some negative, very negative words that you need to eliminate it. I'll give you an example. The word H-A-T-E. I don't even want to say it. That is too negative. Now, if you say, well, I want to say that, well, then you need to think, and your vocabulary has to grow to find another way that is not, you don't think that is a good time for you, instead of using that word. And obviously, you can think of 1,000 negative words. They are not acceptable for the system. And once you continue practice using positive words, then all you're going to attract is positiveness. And your goals, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, are all going to be coming in because of that positive energy that you're sending out. So your vocabulary, eliminate negative words. Now, there are some words that we use every day, okay? And we're constantly telling the kids, no, 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 no. What does that mean? Block, 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 don't get what you want, block, block, block. Now, find another way. You're the parent, okay? And this is for your child. Find another way and avoid using don't, no, you cannot, and you're not able to. Those are all negative phrases. Also, sometimes because we care for our loved ones, instead of calling them their name, Joe, Susie, Juan, we use nicknames. And sometimes those nicknames are negative. Think about it. Little whale. you're telling that person he's overweight. Or you may think of something else that is not positive. So make sure, especially those little kids, those babies that cannot even talk, but they're certainly absorbing everything that's going on around them, find positive nicknames or just use their name. That's what the name was given. I know society wants to shorten everything, and if they could use one word to describe a whole book, they could, but it's not like that. And if you want to be successful in whatever you think success is, you need to adapt to these theories and begin to practice them. So look at yourself right now and say, what negative words do we use? What do we call my brother? What do we call grandpa, or whatever it is? And make sure you turn those words to positive, because it's only going to help. Now, another thing, it takes the same amount of energy to use a negative word as it is to use a positive word, except that with the positive word, you have more positive. Negative, it's just going down. So you want to eliminate that. Now, in addition, once you analyze how your words are, positive, negative, you're going to realize that there are people around you, relatives, cousins, friends, loved ones, that are a little negative. And sometimes they use a lot of negative words. So depending on your relationship, if it's your cousin, which you don't see him except maybe once a week or once a month, but if it's someone closer to you, like your brother, or maybe your an uncle, aunt that lives with you, you need to ask them, hey, can you modify your negative words? You're a little too negative here, or find a way to do it, because I'm in the positive thinking mood and I'm moving forward no matter what it is I want to do, okay? And then you can ask them about it. And then it comes to a point that if they're not going to change, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to hang around negative thinking people? I'll give you an example. I had a friend of mine who's passed away, a very bright lawyer, and when the economy went down, he wanted to talk about what he had heard on the news, how restaurants and other businesses were going down, out of business. Well, I was concerned about my business. We all were. And so we had to think how to give better service and stay alive. But I didn't want to hear the negativity of the other businesses. I had nothing to do with it. And he was a close friend of mine. So as soon as he said that, I changed the subject. Hey, did you hear it's going to rain tomorrow? And boom, we changed the topic and pushed it away. That's just one example, because obviously it's a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a loved one. You don't want to offend them or hurt them, but then it comes to a point that you're going to have to sit down and say, hey, look, we're living together and we want to get along, we want to accomplish our goals. We need to be on the same boat or the same page, because that boat is taking us to wherever our dreams are of success. If we're going to XYZ location, we're not going to get off the boat. So get on the boat, and you got means both of you think together. It'll enhance your relationship with your better half. It will enhance your relationship with your kids. And the goal in life is to achieve whatever goals we want, and not the ones that are approvable by the Joneses or the neighbors or the cousins, whatever you want. Okay, so you're going to have to make a serious determination at some time. When do you stop seeing this person? Another example is every time you call Susie, she's just telling you all of her headaches, all of her problems with her boyfriend, with her parents, and all of that, and you receive that negativity. That is not healthy for you. So if every time you call Susie, she's telling all that, then I think you're going to need to call Susie after she released all her frustration and stress to somebody else. So when she talks to you, she's going to say, hey, it was a nice day today, okay? Or else you're going to have to make a decision whether you stop calling Susie at least until she gets some therapy or gets better for their problem. Everybody has problems, okay? But we're not responsible for them. We have to deal with our own and then our immediate family, because that's how it should be to care. Okay, in closing now, I just want to remind you, we're live in TikTok over there, YouTube over there, and Facebook over there. Subscribe, hit thumbs up or whatever it is, and share this with you, because this is invaluable for your kids or your loved ones or for yourself. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about today is daydreaming. I talked about it last time. And what does that mean? That means you're believing, thinking, fantasizing, whatever it is that you want to do. And the more the detail that you see it, the better it will be, and it will come true. That's the thing. You're going to ask me how? Don't ask me how. You're going to have to be a little bit gullible. Believe me, take it for granted. And you can check what I'm telling you by looking back at your life. For example, if you have a nice car, think back when you wanted it to get that car. Maybe you didn't have the money to get that car, but you wanted it, and somehow it worked its way, and boom, you got it. Now, that's a comment that is made in that video, The Secret, which I suggest that you also look at it so you can compare some of the things that I'm talking about, because it's all related. All of these books and all that originate from that psycho-cybernetics books, because that's one of the oldest books around. But that theory of positive thinking has been around for a long time. So you want to think about that of your goals. You daydream. Now, how do you daydream? Well, when you're by yourself, if you're waiting at a red light, okay, or if you're at the doctor's office or at the school waiting for the next class, what is it that you want? What are your goals? Okay, you want to get a degree, you want to get this type of job, you want to get this type of partner, you want to have nice 3 lovely kids, you want a car, you want a better job, you want another house. What is it? It's all there, and it doesn't cost any money for you to wish. It's free, okay? Now, sometimes it's also good to draw, make a drawing of whatever it is that you want. If you want to travel to Europe, why don't you draw the airplane that goes out there? Is it Italia? Is it United? Whatever airline goes to, wherever you want to go, do it. The more realistic that it is, the better it is, okay? And also, you can also write down, I want to travel to Europe in the next 2 years or very soon. Try to be a little more definite. Don't be too broad. And then keep on with that wish. And if you write it down, or if you make a drawing, put it underneath your pillow. And every night before you go to bed, take it out and look at it. It doesn't cost anything to look at it. It doesn't take any time to look at it. And if you have time, when you wake up in the morning, especially Saturday or Sunday, pull it out and look at it again. And you're going to say, oh, that doesn't work. Well, I'm going to tell you that it does. And unless you try it, you're never going to find out. I did that for cars, for property, for whatever I wanted, for my bar license. It was many things, and you can also do it. I'm sharing this with you. And again, read the book. Look at that video. It's the success. No, is it success? Yeah. No, well, I forgot what it was. Anyway, that video that talks about it, that you can get it, and you'll see that these things do happen. Okay, I'm providing this. I'm sharing it with you. Share it with your loved one. Your kids haven't watched it a little bit. If they get bored, and come back again and let them try it. Or maybe a little later on, they don't have to read a book, but they can certainly follow this. And I will be providing more videos of this type in English, so your kids mainly can benefit from this, but any adult can benefit at least from using positive words. Okay, this is Attorney Vital de Carpio, and we're with you every day in Spanish around 3 o'clock talking about immigration laws, okay? But right now, we're not talking about anything about law. It's just to help you out, help your kids out. And so say goodbye, YouTube, Facebook, and also for the TikTok. All right, we're all going now. All right, goodbye.